So, yeah, I guess before we get started, how many of you guys think we didn't have time? Cool. What's your experience with teaching?
Scale of like 1 to 5. How experienced would you guys say you are with giving pitches? Like put up a finger, number of fingers. Two, two, three. Okay. A lot of beginners, some intermediate people. Yeah.
Cool. So I think part of the structure for this workshop is we spend like 5 or 10 minutes just going through, I guess, like pitching theory, and then kind of talking you guys through some examples from one of my past projects from this last year, Droplet, and then we'll try to go into a little bit of a workshop session where we'll kind of walk around and help you guys fix up your pitches tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So since this is a fundamentals, we're just going to cover the basics, right? There's essentially 3 basic steps that every pitch should have, and these questions should be answered, right? The first one is what is the problem you're trying to solve, right? That's obvious. And the second one is what is your solution to that problem? Try to emphasize, what makes your solution unique. And then third, what is the impact? Every pitch is just these 3 things, but spiced up and with some numbers about what makes it unique, what makes it special. But these are the core questions that you should be answering in your pitches. This one?
yeah, so first thing, it's about the problem. So some of you guys might be working on projects that don't necessarily seem to have like a clear problem, but everything that you're doing has some sort of need that you have. Like for example, if you're working with there's like interesting concept that you have, or maybe it's a little more clear where in applications where we were trying to solve the problem of water wastage, like mowing your lawn. It's just making it really clear and concise in about like 1 to 2 sentences and communicating that to the judge because you only have about a minute to really show them what you're working on. So really, you want to really concisely, say your problem and describe what the key issue you're addressing is. And it's really helpful for this is some using numbers is always helpful. Just telling people, hey, like this impacts like XYZ people, or just talking about like maybe who would use it. Because the thing is, the judges don't know anything about what you're doing. You kind of have to introduce them to it, from scratch. So you kind of have to bridge that gap. So if, telling them like a number helps you sort of make that case useful. Maybe it's not necessarily something you can quantify, but there's like a community of people who are interested in this sort of idea, and you can maybe tell them that. Just get them introduced to the world in which this project works.
All right. And then when you talk about your solution, this is like a basic template you can use on what you should include. First, just think of like a one-liner, quick, simple description of your solution. We have some examples here. I think Doki will walk through these after. And then second, talk about obviously how does it solve the problem. And once again, keep it simple, right? Don't try to just throw in technical jargon. It's not necessary. You're just trying to connect with the judges and emphasize the problem that you're solving rather than the specific implementations of it, because you don't have that much time for your pitch in the hackathon, right? Third, what makes your solution unique? So, different unique features. This is where you can talk about like your specific solution itself. Go a little bit more into detail, but not like too technically in depth, right? And then finally, what sets it apart. So that's once again based off of those unique features, but you want to talk about what makes it different from what already exists. Why does your product need to also exist?
Yes. Context of Droplet, what we were doing is we're trying a way to reduce the water wastage from like irrigating lawns because we found out that most water wastage in the United States comes from that. So the way we try to solve that problem is taking a more data-driven approach to figure out where exactly you should be placing your sprinklers on your lawns, when you should be watering them, how much you should be watering them, incorporate all that information into a way for you to sort of install all of your sprinklers and irrigate just the right amount without wasting water. So the really unique feature for us that we talked about in this pitch was that we use like land mapping. So we would basically pull your like address and your plot and then figure out exactly like the topographic dimensions of it. And then like, so like let's say you have like you will put some more and stuff like that. And then what for us, what really set our product apart was that a lot of other solutions that existed to the market were they have to have more broad strokes adjustments, like like setting like a step tool or just saying if you want to water from this and nothing that was some sort of optimization. So for us, at least our real differentiator was that this was something that was a lot more accurate.
All right, so the third piece, of course, the impact, right? And here you have some more four things you want to focus on. First, who benefits from it? Once again, don't overcomplicate it. It's fine if it's like a niche subgroup, but for the example of droplet, American homeowners, and also for the general public, because climate change, right? That you can do it correctly, you can reduce the amount of water wasted. Second, that's the target users or the market that you're trying to, sell this product to. US households, once again. And then finally, the potential, right? What is the actual impact that you're going to have on the planet? For Droplet, it's going to reduce water usage, right, by a lot and save money and also help the climate and environment. And finally, you can also mention this because this shows that you've really thought more about your product in the future, not just for the sake of a hackathon. So that will really impress the judges. Is talk about the future plans that you have for this product. Okay. And anything else to add to this? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so to make your pitch stand out, just keep it simple. Like, let's talk about how your product is different and why it is good. Like, to be honest, the most important thing is just like you have to make sure that someone can come away with it, be understanding exactly what you're talking about, and feels like, okay, wow, that was like a 14, 15 there, you know, they know what they're trying to say. And that way, like, if you leave that impression on the judge, you're much more likely to win, or at least be in the discussion for like that final shortlist of candidates. Oh, I think a lot of one of the mistakes that a lot of people do is they get too into the details of things that don't really matter. Like the judges really don't care things after or like AWS or like use Terraform. They're just implementing the services like in the dashboard. Just make it very clear and concise, and then consider which judges you're also talking to. Sometimes, like if you have like track specific judges, you may need to like focus on different aspects of your project than others. Like if you're talking to like a general judge, you probably want to give them the high level idea, the broad strokes. If you're talking to someone, for example, like in communication, you want to talk to them about why your product fits their specific problem. So, I mean, you guys probably did this in like high school, AP Lit. It's just argumentation. You just gotta figure out exactly what the conclusions you want to make, and then like write it, and then present it.
Yeah. Okay. So common mistakes. I covered some of this, right? Don't get lost in the weeds of your technical implementation. Talk about the general impact. Talk about the why, right? If you can demo, a lot of these judges, when you're pitching, they've already read through like the submissions you've made, so you don't have to necessarily like re-explain all of it. Just go and just show them the demo in live if you have it, because that now shows that you've actually implemented this. That's a big bonus point, right? A lot of people will have designs, but they wouldn't have completed the implementation. Whatever you do have finished, that's the strongest thing you have. So show it to them. And if it's visual, that's great. Like judges love to see it visual. So think about how you're gonna like demo this, walk them through it the day before, and that'll make your pitches go a lot smoother. And yeah, like I mentioned, don't overcomplicate it. Avoid the technical jargon. The judges can see through it. Just keep it simple. Focus on the why. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it short. Tell them, open it up for questions. You'll most of the time you probably have like 4 mentions. So keep it simple. Leave it open for them to ask questions, and at least when you're writing this, open like your like dev post description. Maybe put something like about a call to action. Okay, what do you do next? Or like leave some like contact info or like an email or like something like that. Just to, I wouldn't say that in your pitch with Jeff post like, thanks for listening. My email is excellent.
Yeah. All right. Before we like do a workshop, we're gonna give you guys like 10 minutes to like come up with your quick pitch, and then we'll come help you with it and give you some advice. But before that, yeah, here's the attendance form. Make sure you fill it out. So
yeah, make your points.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing this so people can see.
Oh, yeah, but I think I want to keep this slide up too because
Oh, wait. Here's what we'll do then.
Yeah, everyone get the form? You want to? No.
All right. Where'd it go?
Oh, this is it's another tab.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Um, you guys, they have to record the video and submit it the day before, right? Like as part of the dev post?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the live pitch, since you would have submitted that recording the day before on the dev post, on the live, if you can walk through it live, I think that would be best because now you're showing them like it actually works dynamically. Like I'm going through it. It's not just, pre-recorded. If it's possible to do that, that's huge bonus points. So try to. Yeah.
All right, every good attendance, we'll put the timer back up.